Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, nice to meet you. I'm going to just briefly go over what I do, what I'm about here, and talk about the previous video I did on Little Boosie, and then we'll get into the reading. The reason I have this card out, which I guess I'll cover that part just in case, is because I tried to start this earlier and I flung it off and that card flipped over. So it actually has a lot to do with what I'm about to say. Anyway, I'm a psychic medium, and on this channel I do use tarot and oracle decks. However, I don't necessarily need to use them. It's more of just for entertainment purposes. So what I try to do, sometimes it gets a little confusing because I'll interchange who I'm speaking to and what I'm doing. But the main purpose that I do is I'm speaking as if this reading is for the celebrity. So now that I'm doing Little Boosie, then I'm going to say you, Little Boosie, this on and on and on and on. So you guys are just the third party watching or sitting in on the reading. Now, my intention is set to get the most information possible that in that current moment. So as I record this video, what is going on in the celebrity's life that is important to them, that their spirit guardians want to get across to them, that they want to communicate to them. Sometimes passed away loved ones will come through. I'll communicate their message to them as well. But I only deal with the angelic realm. I don't deal with any of the lower levels. That is to say, demonic entities, which do exist and people do channel whether they're aware of it or not, which is why it's very important, if you are interested in doing something like this or even using decks. Honestly, these are just cards. Cards have no power. It's the powers within you, and it's very important that you guys recognize that and recognize who you are watching and who they're channeling and what they're doing, because through our free will, it is allowing these things into our lives and into our awareness. And it's very important for us to take our own personal responsibility to question everything. That includes me. By all means, I welcome that. I encourage it. I'm not going to be 100% on my readings. I aim for 100%, obviously. However, because I don't have the person talking to me, and because they're living, breathing people at the moment, they have the ability to change course from what it is I'm picking up on, and I don't like to dig more into what I'm getting. I try and keep it as somewhat surface level as possible. Sometimes I will dig in a little bit deeper just to get a little bit more clarity if I feel like it's not clear enough. However, if the celebrity ends up watching the video, I want messages to come through that they'll be able to figure it out themselves, because I don't want to air out a lot of their information if, you know, it's not something that they're comfortable with, because obviously this is a very personal thing that I'm doing, and I don't want to cross too many boundaries with this, or any boundaries at all. My most important intention here is that I want you guys to be able to verify within your own lives where maybe something I picked up is something that you figured out yourself, and to think after you watch the video where, you know, you've had instances where you've spoken to your spirit guardians, or what's the bigger purpose in everything? Where are you in alignment with the celebrity? And then just apply it to your own life, because we have that personal responsibility in this lifetime to act in our highest good, to follow our heart. Ultimately, the whole message for every video, for every person, is always been and always will be, it's following your heart, because your heart is a connection to your intuition. Your intuition is connected to your higher self. Your higher self is connected to your soul, which is connected to the higher realms, the angelic realms. And so it's very important. So even with the World card here, it's karma, it's destiny, it's following your higher purpose, it's a completion of your life cycle and doing the best that you can in your life. So hope I was a little bit clear there. If you continue to join me on this channel, I'm sure things will get a little bit more clear. I would encourage you to watch the beginning of the Taylor Swift video. That will also have a little bit of clarity. But yeah, so I normally don't remember my readings ever. I get into a meditative space, and once I'm there, I'm spitting out the information from my spirit team, and when I'm done, it's completely done, and I have no recollection of what it is that I've said. And so with the little Boosie video, I think it's like a 3-minute long video. I did watch it a couple weeks ago because someone was asking on there to do another video on him, and I think that's a really good example of how things can change and how I'm only picking up on the current circumstances. So what I can recall, another thing that I was going to mention is the things that I can remember sometimes is the things that I don't say. So if I'm getting messages and I don't say it out loud, then oftentimes I'll carry it with me for almost forever. So that's usually the only things that stay with me. But with his video in particular, when I was watching it, what I can remember now from that is that I thought that he was in love. I genuinely feel that he's met his soulmate. I don't know what necessarily happened with that, but I saw a distance. I saw like physical distance, like they probably lived in 2 different cities and there was an issue there. You know, then there was him feeling a little bit heartbroken over it, stuff like that. So I don't know what's going to come through here. Oh, and also, yeah, so I don't do specifics. I just say, okay, I think I did mention that word. Just whatever comes through. So today, little Boosie and his spirit guardians, please come forward and tell us what information we need to know. I feel like you feel as if you've been taken advantage of. You feel like someone is saying something to you that you don't agree with, and you feel like you're gonna have to stand up for yourself against them because you don't think that what they did to you is right. Is what I'm getting. It's like, hey, like what you did, I don't think that's right. Like you shouldn't have done that. That's not right. We have the Lovers, the 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, the Sun card. Then we have the 8 of Cups, and we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Page of Cups at the bottom. I don't get intense feelings from this, interestingly enough, because this seems like it would be an intense situation, but for some reason you've been able to kind of like maintain your cool with this, and maybe it's more of just like you're taking a mature approach, I feel, or it's mature for you because I feel like even if you come across intense, you know that you have a lot of those feelings that you truly want to act out or act on reserved. So in reality, it's like, well, if such and such thinks that I'm acting out right now, they have no idea like how intense that I can be. And this could be a relationship. It kind of feels like it is, like it's the opposite gender, or just someone that you're in a romantic relationship with, because, you know, yeah, like these cards, it can go both ways, but it just kind of feels like that. It feels like another person that you felt very close to, like on a friendship level. And basically what happened here is you decided that you feel like you did the right thing, where it's like, I had your back even when you did things that I didn't agree with, or that you knew that you would get in trouble for with another person or authority. Like you did something that you shouldn't have done, and I supported you with it. Like I didn't judge you for it. I might have helped you, something like that. Like we had this future together. We were really happy together. We could have had something, and we could have continued to have something. And instead, someone here chose to walk away from it, and they felt like it was the mature decision to do. Who I feel that would have been the female in here. Again, I'm not 100% sure. So basically someone decided that, yes, this situation made me happy, but ultimately I think that the mature thing to do is to just completely end it, because maybe other people were involved in this, too many people were involved, and they were not comfortable with it. That could have been something. There could have been lying involved. There could have been like some sort of truth that came out about a situation or another person, and they weren't happy about it because you weren't necessarily lying. Like you did lie, or they lied. Someone lied here. And but it was more of just like white lies or like half truths, which are still necessary. Those are still lies, but I feel like the person who did the lying was like, well, I mean, I told you, I just didn't really tell you everything, and if you're okay with what I told you, then you should have been okay with everything else. When in reality, well, you would have said everything else if you knew that the other person wouldn't get upset about it. The other person is fixated on those challenges that were going on between you guys. It's almost like that's the only thing that they can look at right now. And yeah, it does make them emotional, and I think they're doing a lot of self-reflection on that and how it affected them emotionally. While you, it seems like you're the person who's kind of preparing yourself, like you're just kind of preparing yourself to protect yourself, but in reality it's just bringing you more heartbreak. And I don't know if you're fully aware of that. I think you have some sort of awareness and consciousness that it is bringing you heartbreak, but I think the more that you continue this path where you're splitting with this person and there's not an acknowledgement, like you don't turn around and console them or talk to them and come forward with something, then it's just going to actually end up hurting you more in the end than it does hurting them. What I feel is that it's this ignoring of your true happiness. It's almost like a fantasy to you, and so it's like you've created this false reality for yourself where you feel like you're happy, or you feel like the things around you should bring you happiness, but yet there's a part of you that feels like something's still missing. You feel like you understand that it's all been curated. It's a manufactured happiness that you have right now, and what you want is something more substantial, more real, but you still feel like maybe it's a fantasy. You don't trust that you are deserving of something that's happy. I think you don't trust the process, and you don't trust allowing yourself to walk towards that happiness. But I do have an indication here that you are considering that, and there's always that option of you to change course, and you have that thought within you that you could make it a reality, and that it is something that you are deserving of and you are worthy of. To be completely honest, I think what I told you just now of that little part is a big secret for you, and maybe there's a part of you that wasn't aware of that for a very long time. You know, it's just that feeling of emptiness, that feeling of loss, of something missing. You know, it's like when you bake something and then you forget, I would say the salt, but you would know when the salt's missing. It's like when you bake something and you forget the vanilla, and you're like everything, it tastes good, but there's just something that's not, like, it's not substantial enough. There's something missing, but I can't figure out what it is, and it's that hidden ingredient, you know? It's the vanilla, and you don't realize until you truly have it, or you realize that that's what you're missing, that you say, aha, that's it. and you've come to that realization, and it's bringing up a lot of fear in you, because I think the core of it is really you don't feel like you deserve it. So maybe these things that you've done is more of a self-sabotaging, and you want to act as if you're stronger than your emotions, that you can wield yourself as this strong person. But I think honestly what it is that you fought a lot for where you are today, that when you stop fighting, then who are you after that? It's almost like feeling safe in that fighting. It's feeling safe in war. It's feeling safe in preparing yourself, because it's like having emotional trauma. You know, you have PTSD from your past, from being in such a stressful environment the majority of your life, that it feels uncomfortable and unsafe, and like you're vulnerable and out in the open, like you're in the middle of the battlefield with no protection whatsoever. If you're completely happy, and being completely happy is being vulnerable and knowing and trusting and having that blind faith that you'll be able to overcome any situation that emotional situation that you come through, right? And figuring out the lesson in any emotional situation that happens for you. Am I making myself clear with that? Does that make sense? Something about your knees, and I know you're in a wheelchair. I think it's for diabetes. I'm not 100% sure. I did see that when I looked on his Instagram. Just so you know, I will mention to you guys if I do something like that, because I like to be as like blind as possible, so I'm not biased, but that I was privy to. You notice here it's like a desert. By the book, dance. This is confirmation of everything that I said. This is the advice for you, which is, let me just get into a little more information and then we'll get into the advice. But this thing that's going on in your life right now is just this repetition of what you've done continuously throughout your life, and it's a little bit of, I don't want to say it's a little, it's probably more than just a little of self-sabotaging for yourself, because again, it's feeling safe with the stress, and there's a need for you to break this ancestral pattern. And this probably goes a lot deeper than your own lifetime, and who caused this for you, and it just didn't start just with you. And you're in a position now, especially in a financial position and mentally, you're in a good spot where you are able to change, and to change this for other people. And oh, by the way, in the numbers here, so if this is significant to you, we have 11 and 32. So that might be important for you, but you're at that point of, do I want to continue the way that I've always been and continue my past, or do I want to rewrite my future? We have by the book, and is reversed, and I'm reading this intuitively, and what I feel is that you don't have to go by anybody's rules anymore. You don't have to go by your own rules. And maybe you feel like, oh well, I've never gone by anybody's rules. Well, you've created a book for yourself on how to live your own life, and you've done that all this time, and so it's time to really destroy that book, break it apart, and emerge from all of the change that you've gone through. Be completely different than you've always been, you know? Be a completely different person. And be able to celebrate your own life, you know? And to celebrate the coming of this vulnerability. Really, it's celebrating being able to be open again and to be confident that, you know, there is strength, massive strength in vulnerability. And, you know, you can look up the feminine and the masculine aspects in like healed people, and we all possess these feminine and masculine aspects within ourselves. So there is a call for you to embrace the femininity in yourself, where you're more nurturing to yourself and to other people. You're more emotional and to yourself and other people, and receptive. You have to be receptive to love. You have to be receptive to other people showing you that they care about you, and allowing yourself to see if they'll love you or not, you know? And yeah, maybe someone won't, maybe they'll hurt you, but you don't know until you allow them in and you allow yourself to give that back to them. True, genuine love. And remember that you are capable of rebuilding, capable of handling any pain or heartbreak that you might potentially have if it doesn't work out with your friends, your family, a love interest. You have to just be able to, you have to heal that part of you to know that you are worthy of love. I'll pull from these because I feel called to. I'm a little biased with him because you know, Lil Boosie and I don't see eye to eye on some things. Like some of his beliefs I don't agree with. However, some of his music, he's such a powerful lyricist. He's a powerful artist where you can really feel his passion in his music. And I feel that the more that I went into this reading, I could feel even more of that same raw pain, true pain that needs to be healed. Truly, it needs to be healed. And you're here. You are here now. You know, look, it even says here and now, between your past and your future. You're here at the point where you can completely change everything and rewrite your history, your family's history. I mean, it's here. It's in the cards. It's so incredible. Even with the dragonfly, there's another reader who talks about the dragonfly, and I think it's a really beautiful story about it, where, you know, the dragonfly spends however long underneath the water, and it makes this long journey up and up and up, and emerges as this beautiful dragonfly, and then it comes and lands and it drinks, you know, from the water. And it takes so long for this little dragonfly just to become who it is, right? It's a long process. It's a beautiful process. And here you are emerging as this beautiful new being, this new life, you know? So it's really being encouraged for you to do that. All of these want to come out. So we'll pick, I think this is the main one that wants to come out. Acceptance. There's nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. You are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. Your guardian angels really want you to pray to them. Speak to them. You know, you can call on them anytime you want. and they will be there for you. You can ask for signs, you know, just know that when you get the sign, to just accept that sign and don't keep asking and asking and asking, because even after you've received the sign, because then now you're not trusting anymore. You're looking for some sort of external confirmation, you know, and reaffirming yourself over and over again. So just ask once kindly, like ask for a sign from them that they can hear you, that you're speaking to them. Pray to them. They're here all the time. They're here protecting you. And even with the archangels, you can speak to the archangels, pray to them, ask for help, ask for guidance, and they will be there. And there's also other spiritual beings. There's, you know, higher realms of angels that are here working with us, and just continue to pray and they will be here. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of reading, but let me just read these and this will be the last of it. So, from your soul's perspective, this life is just a page in the never-ending story where you and those around you all have a specific role to play. Yet, remember, this role is not the real you, for you are much more than your personality and current circumstances. Your true immortal self cannot be defined. Then this is also another one. I am one with the universe, one with the eternal goddess. She is part of me. I tune into my heart and she is there, surrounded by an infinite library of wisdom, knowledge, and love. The countless manifestations of the goddess, along with her great compassion, are expressed through me. I think this is really important because this highlights healing the softer side of you, embracing that side of you, and through healing that and mothering yourself, truly mothering yourself. You can pray to Mother Mary as well. She is there for you. I'm going to pull one more card, actually, and it's going to be a card from her, and then that's it. And then we have, beyond the light of this world, there is an inner light that always shines bright. Close your eyes and be guided by your inner light. Feel it flow through your entire body, your thoughts and emotions. Feel it relax and heal every part of you. Listen to the immortal dialogue between your soul and spirit. There is a never-ending story of you. And with this, I also feel, again, that your soul, you know, you're only here in this lifetime once. You're only experiencing this lifetime, this moment once, okay? And, you know, whether you reincarnate back on Earth or not, it's a whole different story. And you've come here not only to learn life lessons, but also to truly experience what it's like. You know, our souls came down and separated from God because we wanted to experience it, and God allowed us to do that because He's not controlling, you know? He's allowed us that opportunity to figure out what we wanted to do, what our soul truly wanted to do. And if we all tuned into our soul, we would see that it's about healing ourselves, and it is about returning to God, because when we do good things, we do feel more complete, we feel more whole, right? So let's get the one from Mother Mary. We have number 19 and number 6, Our Lady of Dark Mysteries and Our Lady of the Inner Gate. You are a lot more sad. You know, the longer that I went through this reading, the deeper I could feel those feelings of sadness. Maybe you just try and hide it, you know, and you try and be strong. And there's just so much fear and distrust in the world in general. The fear is because in reality you don't feel safe. You've never felt safe. You have to believe that you're here in this moment where you feel as if there's tragedy in your life. You feel a great sense of loss and confusion and anger and sadness, and just almost like you just want to push everybody away. You just want to be angry because you don't you don't want to face those deeper feelings, and you have to believe that you are on this path for a greater reason, and to tune into your heart and to heal your heart. The main message here that's just being repeated over and over and over again is to heal your heart. This path that you're on right now is because this is something that's going to serve you the most on a soul level. This is something that, you know, only someone as strong as you can handle. This is specifically set out for you. And so to release those painful emotions, be courageous in your feelings and be courageous in being vulnerable and being open. It's really going to liberate you to work through what it is that you're feeling. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel ashamed of any challenges that you have, because you are courageous, and this is a really transformative moment for you. And you will get through this, and you're going to come out on the end much stronger and emotionally confident and just more centered in yourself and more grounded and more secure in who you are as a man and as your inner child, you know, and healing that inner child. You don't have to understand why things happened or how things happen. You just accept the blessings as they happen for you, and take that place and take that peace in where you are now. And when people or things come in and they're a blessing, to just continue to accept that. So that's my reading. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.